washing machine, fridge, smart TV, air conditioner, kitchen items amadi makal khudingmakki home appliances kidamak hoina waningai leite. Kaisampat Kunchen Hazari Lekai Dalaiba Mezo of Impalna ahongbo mamalda item khudingmakki up to 50% discount that offer tizari. Wedding set unalong matamdasu special oiba discount kayasu hamjari. Interest amatta yaudena 0% EMI loan ni kudong chabasu thamjari. Kudong chabasi makan biraganu ngasi maklengsin birahu Mezo of Impal Kaisampat Kunchen Hazari Lekai.
Hello and a very good evening. Welcome to ELITETV's Open Debate in English. I'm Utpala, your host for tonight. What is a male beauty pageant? It includes a modeling segment where grooming and poise are measured. The winner of this male pageant typically travels the world attending charity events as a spokesman. He might also win a modeling contract. Contestants in a male pageant may receive coaching in grooming. Now, what are male beauty standards? In Western society, the male beauty standard is focused on hypermasculinity, golden skin, ruggedness, and a muscular physique are considered more desirable. Let's discuss what are the male beauty standards locally as well as at the national level. This brings us to the topic for tonight, Shining of Manipuris in international arena. Recently, proud son of Manipur, Lukanan Khetrimayum won laurels for the state and the country. Lukanan represented India at the finale of male beauty pageant held at New Frontier Theatre in Cubao, Quezon City, Philippines, and officially sashed as first runner-up at the 14th Mr. International. So let's get to the topic for tonight. Let me introduce our panelists for tonight. In no particular order, from the left of the screen, we have Ms. Konica Khuraijam, mentor of beauty contestants. Welcome to ELITETV Open Debate, Ms. Khuraijam. Next, we have Robert Naorem, international designer. Welcome to ELITETV Open Debate. And last but not the least, we have Halley Laithangbam, model. Welcome to ELITETV Open Debate. So let's begin this very interesting open debate for tonight. Let's start with Konica Khuraijam. Can you tell us more about male beauty pageants?
Utpala, beauty contest. Let's start from the beauty, that is the female beauty contest. Because beauty contest, we are looking at a particular competition where the competitors have to compete in different areas. Mm-hmm. It's not only physical, it's not only mental, it's not only the outer beauty of a person, it's also like how the heart of that person is, how the value of that person is, how the person interacts with other people. Soft skill is very, very important. And overall, the attitude of the person counts a lot in this context. So, male beauty contest or male pageants, as we are saying nowadays, is very much in line with the ladies' beauty. And I'm very happy to say that in Manipur we have had such a lot of winners and aspirants and winners so far representing our country. Okay. But if I have to talk about my journey into this particular field, it all started in 1995 when I was called upon by the then governor of Manipur, Shri O.N. Srivastav, when he told me to select girls for Miss Northeast. Okay. And then so in 1996 again, when he became the governor of both Nagaland and Manipur, I was given the opportunity to organize a contest. It was called Queen of Peace, and because the theme of that particular contest was to choose or a beauty queen who can represent the face of Northeast regarding in order to bring peace and unity in the whole
Mm-hmm.
of northeastern region. And I believe, Utpala, you were the winner of the Queen of Peace in
Absolutely right. Yes, I remember that very well. Yes,
1986. Yeah.
I got that
Um,
opportunity
so
from you. Yeah.
Yeah. So coming to that, um, this particular event or the pageant of the male, it is very much in line with the ladies'
Okay.
contest.
Okay.
But of course, male agility, the male physique is so much emphasized upon, and everything is soft skills emphasized upon. And I believe it is also a showcase of our culture, of our identity, of our state. We should be very proud of Robert Naorem, who designed that particular outfit of Lukanan when
Oh,
he
okay.
represented the country. And it was an amalgamation of all the different beautiful motifs of the tribes, with the peacock. Beautiful it was. So that is my take on the male beauty pageant.
Thank you so much for your views, Ms. Khuraijam. I'll move to Robert Naorem now. Robert, are you there online? I think.
Hi.
Okay. Well, congratulations first and foremost. Congratulations that to you as well, being the designer, as I just got to know that the costumes, beautiful costume designed by you. So could you tell us how a male beauty pageant differs from a female beauty pageant? You must have designed a lot of clothes, and I'm sure you have many ideas about how different the two are, the male as well as female, or even similar. So can you give us
I
a few?
can't hear properly.
Okay, I'll just repeat that once again. Can you tell us, can you hear me now?
There is some noise which is coming from other side. I don't know from which side. I could
Even
hear
the
some.
voice- the
I
voice
could
is
hear some
breaking in
background
fact.
noise.
Okay, is that better now or is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Robert, can you tell us how does a male beauty pageant differ from a female beauty pageant? I'm sure you must have designed a lot of clothes for males as well as females, and you must be knowing the differences between the two. So, if there are differences or similarities, can you tell us your thought on your views on that?
When I look into the perspective of two ways, it's completely two different things. But see, when people say male pageant, they always think about the body structures, the physique. That's how they see it. Most of the time, people think that when a person wins a title, and when a person goes for a pageant, most of the time, many of the people, they always have a misconception about going to become a bodybuilder or join on a physique competition, and they equalize that with a fashion beauty male pageant, which is completely different, which is a completely different scenario from that. When we look into this perspective of the male pageant, what is required is, it's just not about the physique. It's exactly what a woman poses. What we look into a woman, when we choose a pageant, when we judge a pageant, we look into the personality, we look into the clothes, we look into the makeup, personality, even the skills, the talent, the performance, everything. That was the overall performance on a male pageant, which required in-depth grooming, and in terms of their personality, in terms of the communication. That's what it's all about, a male beauty pageant. But the only thing is, as you know, the societies are always inclined towards female pageants. That's why there is not so much promotion. Plus, there is not so much hype which we can able to see, how we could able to see in beauty pageant of female. But even in India, there was previously there was a Glad Rags. Now they stopped doing it, and then there was this Mr. India, which organized by the Times of India organization, which happened to represent to Mr. World, which is not for the body building Mr. World, but like actually it's for the beauty pageant for male, which represents to the Mr. World. There is a separate pageant for that. But generally, most of the people have a conceptions of wrong conception about Mr. World of physics and Mr. World of like how you know how there is a beauty pageant for the female Mr. World, Miss World. Same thing, there is a pageant for the male pageant for Mr. World also, which goes through the entry of Mr. India, which is organized by the Times of India organization, which is the same organization which organized Femina Miss India, which sent off to Miss World. So I think we need a lot of research, and we need to focus also to give more awareness about the male beauty pageant, which is very similar to a beauty pageant of a female. So I think I'm really glad, not only very happy and still very proud about Manipuri from my state, first time, which is a recognized, which is a very good platform for the male beauty pageant, which is the Mr. International, which even our own, my friend Halley has also been represented India there. So I feel that, our own people from the Northeast India, where we feel that we have been little neglected, or I feel that way, or else we don't get the opportunity to represent our country in that platform. So being Lukanan, being represented there as India, so like I feel really proud of it, and I think it was a huge opportunity to encourage our people in our own state here, to give encouragement that they also can do it. So it's a message, it's a gate opening for, rest of the people from Northeast India, that even our Northeast people can represent India. Though we look like Oriental, we look Asian, but we still represent there
the country
as a part of India, as an Indian citizen in a very big platform, is something which I salute, and I'm really happy about Lukanan also. And this is the first time I'm doing the clothes for a male beauty pageant. That also in an international platform. So when I designed the clothes, since he represented India, I cannot just do a traditional Manipuri dress, because it's about a country. So the garments need to speak about the country, which I take an inspiration from the national flag, which is tricolor, which is the orange, green, and the white, which is the inspiration. But as well as there was a peacock, which is the representation of the national bird in the indication about the costume. But at the same time, I don't want to lag behind about being a Manipuri. So whatever the garment it is being represented as in India, I want to have a touch of our diversity of our culture, which the tribal motifs which represent the diversity of our culture of the tribal community. And there was like the entire garment is completely sustainable, plus it's all handloom, which is our pride of our Manipur, which represents our Manipur and represents India.
That's wonderful, Robert, and very interesting and very informative, and we all are so proud of Lukanan for what he's achieved for our state and for the country as well. Thank you for your views. I'll move on to Halley. I'll come to you in the next round. Halley, I think we've lost connection with Halley. Halley, are you there? Oh, I think we've just lost connection with Halley. We'll just wait for him to come back. In the meantime, I'll go back to Miss Konica Khuraijam. So, Miss Khuraijam, can you tell us, are you personally in favor of male beauty pageants or beauty pageants for men?
Utpala, see, when we talk about beauty pageants, we are not talking about the physicality of a person, as I said before. We are looking all into the overall personality of that particular person. A person, if he or she has to come up on a particular platform to speak up and to voice views about different aspects of life, he has to have the soft skills. He has to have a certain sort of intelligence. He has to have the physical expect to be represented as a male. You know, the height factor, the physics factor, the mental factor, factor of the heart, value factor, it all comes into that. And the personality, that effect on the ramp is very, very important. Carry that ability on the ramp and to mesmerize the people. Just because you don't have a lifetime on the stage, you have something, 1 or 2 minutes, and you have to convince the judges, you have to convince the people that you are a winner. So it takes different aspects of all these, qualities together to be a winner, to come up as somebody who has the capacity to carry that title. So when we talk about whether we prefer male beauty contests or not, of course, naturally, because it is the development of the personality of that particular person. Now look at the winners of these pageants all over the world, how they can carry themselves, how they have the capacity to speak up. And these platforms are also platforms where they become the youth icon of the particular the world,
absolutely.
of the particular state, of the particular country. Now, from yesterday, I'm very sure everybody is now Googling about Manipur and India all over the world, because Lucana got the first runners-up in Mr. International. So look at the exposure, actually in this platform. So I am very much for male beauty.
That's wonderful, Ms. Khuraijam. I'll come back to you in the next round. Okay, we have Halley back online. Halley, my next question.
Hi.
I beg.
Yes,
I think we lost you for a minute, but well, since you're back here online now, my question to you is, what are the prerequisites or criteria for joining a male beauty pageant?
First of all, I would like to thank this ELITETV for taking initiative for regarding this discussion or regarding this hot topic this male pageant. I think this is very interesting. So anyway, when it comes to the point that you have asked me, the criteria that male required to participate in a pageant, it totally depends on the organization.
Okay.
I would say. See, there are different kinds of organization, like as Robert have mentioned, like Mr. World, like Mr. International. These all are different pageants, like international pageants. Apart from these international thing, we also have so many local, national level beauty pageants. So it depends on the criteria, depends on the this one organization. But when we generalize all these things, probably I would say, see, national, at least we should be 5'10", 5'11" is a minimum height criteria.
Okay.
And apart from that, we should have a well-proportioned body. This modeling thing is different. It is entirely different from the bodybuilding line. Okay. So we do not need to have that much of muscular body, or we shouldn't be looking like something like a bodybuilder. Okay. But we should have a well-proportioned body, like upper body and lower body we have. Then apart from that, see, in modeling also people do not have that much of particular idea. Like there's a difference between a model and a pageant-oriented model. For example, I myself, see, I did modeling for so many designers, for brand and all, but I was more into pageant, actually, pageant-oriented kind of model. Yeah. So, one second. Yeah. So, can you hear me?
Yes. Please carry
on. Yeah. So, see, since just let me take myself as an example. For example, when I won Mr. Manhunt of Manipur, first runner-up in 2002, Ma'am Konica was a choreographer. I still remember. Yeah. Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, you're back online.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So Ma'am Konica was a choreographer. I still remember. So and Ma'am Konica is someone very sweet, and I really adore, actually. So anyway, when after winning that manhunt that Manipur thing in 2002, in the year 2002, really long back. I was just 17 years old.
Okay.
Then I wanted to try for the bigger pageant actually. There was no Mr. Northeast that time.
Okay.
So I wanted to try for Gladrex.
Okay.
Gladrex was there that time, then Grasim was there, Grasim Mr. India was there. I really wanted to try, but I knew what are the what were the requirements actually, the basic necessity. I was not in a hurry. I wanted to try. So I always have what to say. Since I have been reading a lot of this one, what you call proverbs. There's one proverb like, if you have a dream, you need to try it. So it was my dream to be a part of this national and international pageant, but I knew that I have to try it. So there were so many points where I was lacking regarding the Q&A, then regarding the physique, then regarding the the knowledge about the pageant, and also it took me 7 to 8 years. Then I tried for Gladrex in the year 2009.
Okay.
Yeah. So then there were so many points. There are so many points. There are so many areas I would say that before participating or before applying for any exam, we need to do a lot of homework actually. So yeah, so my topic is going to be very long. So I'll come to the conclusion that the criteria to participate any pageant, it depends on the organizer. It depends on the organizer of the pageant, I would say.
Okay. So basically, the organizer would list down all the criteria for that particular title.
Yes.
Okay. So now, since you're already in the second round, my next question to you will be: I think you were a part of Mr. International at some probably in 2015, exactly. So can you tell us your experience and what was it that you experienced right over there?
Okay. See, let me be honest. The way of selection was very different from this time. First of all, I would like to congratulate my little brother Lukanan. Hats off to you. You did a great job. Actually, it's like a feather on our head. Actually. So, but the way of selection was very different in our time. See, when I tried for Mr. International, I went for audition for 2 to 3 times.
Okay.
First, they did audition for all over India. First, North India, western part of India, South India, then eastern part of India.
Okay.
Then after selecting all the winners, then they gave us a chance to compete again all the winners.
Okay.
Then after going through the final audition round, winner of the winners was the one who had to represent India in international level. Yeah, but these days, I'm not very sure about. I'm sure, but I don't know what is the logic behind it. But when Lukanan represented India in Mr. International, he got a chance directly from Mr. Northeast pageant. He didn't go for all over India audition because he was lucky enough. This Abhijit Sinha, he is the founder. I think he's the founder and director of this Mr. Northeast. He is a franchise holder. I heard like that. Okay. So the system was a little different from my time because I had to go through 2-3 rounds for all over India audition.
Okay.
Then it was really nice, and the way of selection might be a little different, I'm sure.
Okay.
The little ugly truth was there was recently the owner of this, the founder of this Mr. International, Mr. Alansin. He himself is from Singapore.
Okay.
He passed away, last month.
Oh.
So in my time, it's little not nice to disclose in public, but still I'm just sharing what I have faced in my time.
Okay.
So he was little against Asian actually. So we had some problem regarding, he was more into Latinos. So when we had some discussion program or something he was not paying that much of attention towards Asian actually. So he was inclining more towards this one. This racism, it happened actually. Yeah, that happens. But otherwise, overall, it was a great experience. Representing India itself is a great achievement. I would
it's a very
consider
big
that
thing.
way. Yeah.
Yes. So, do you think this still exists? The bias, the racism, so to say, you could say racism if he is biased towards a particular race or if he is against a particular race. Do you think this kind of a thing still exists in today's competitions?
It happens to some areas, but not to all areas. It happens. But since we public are much aware about our fundamental rights, as you know, as we are into this new generation. This racism, this discrimination that we used to face when I was in Bombay and all. So I heard they started liking our Asian look, like as Robert also have mentioned. They have started accepting us also, and we have started, proving our potentials.
Absolutely.
For example, like Lukanan, for example.
Right.
So he is somebody, he's also one of the persons, he will be in our history, that he is also one of the persons, like in India at least, he witnessed that, our face, our people also can do something, something achieve, if the door is open for us.
Absolutely
also.
true.
So this is something I really feel proud of Lukanan, and he is doing a great job.
Right, thank you so much for your input. I'll move to Robert Naorem now. Robert, can you tell us something about, would you know the process of grooming the contenders?
There is some noise again, which is on the background.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you nice and clear now. So can you tell us a little about the process of grooming the contenders? You must have seen how they're groomed, and be it a female beauty pageant or even for the male beauty pageant, how are they groomed?
See, first and foremost is confidence.
Okay.
This is what most important in any pageant. So building a confidence is something which we have to try from many ways. There are many expert groomers, like even though, like, any big pageants like Miss India, Femina, Miss India, whoever the winner who has to represent, they undergone a grooming stage for so many months, so many days with the experts like Alicia Rawat, who used to trend. Now again, Miss India is again trained by Lakshmi Rana, who is a supermodel, then Dipti Gujral. Like, these are the people who are very known and expert people from the industry who train the pageants. But as I told you, even there was few years back where, there was little hype and little promotion for the male pageants, beauty pageants. But now hardly it's been stopped, because there was a Ban Bhushan's Man's Fashion Week. There was, like, I don't know, like the industry has like very less job of a male model or a male pageant. But any pageant, coming to the question, like any pageant has to undergo a training, which is very hard work. It cannot be like, you cannot be overconfident. Even though you are a winner, if you are overconfident, you never can go through. What is important is, when you represent yourself in a state, that is again different thing. When you represent for a Northeast, that is again different thing. When you represent for the national level, that is again different thing. Because each organization, each requirement of the organization, as Halley also said, is all different. Because when we have to prepare for the international pageant, we need to understand what is required for a beauty pageant internationally. Because the way how the question has been asked, the way how the training has been happened, how the show has been conducted, how the choreograph has been happened, all is completely different from the national level and the international level, because there are different criteria. But nowadays, even the national beauty pageant here, they try to connect and make it little similar with the international pageant, because so that it's more easier for the contestant who is going to compete at international level.
Right.
So when we have to go for a rigorous grooming session, grooming starting from your basic skincare, starting from your physic training, your body training, your communication skills, your efficacy, your presentation of yourself, your confidence, the way how you speak, your hospitality, everything is important. Because when you represent yourself as a contestant in any of the very big pageants, they judge you from different criteria. They look into it, how you mingle with people, how you talk, how you eat, how you walk the ramp, how your confidence are, how you smile, how you treat even on the backstage with the client, how you interact with the entire staff and treatment with the entire thing. Because since you're gonna represent a world or a country, so they need to precisely choose depending on different criteria.
Right.
So the grooming process happens from, like basic makeup, how you have to do your own makeup. You need to understand what you need to expect when you go for an international pageant there. You have to wear a swimwear round. Then what other personal etiquette you have to do it. Either even for a male, they need to do waxing, body waxing. They have to keep the hair clean, cut it nicely. They have to trim the nails. They make sure everything is perfect, because what is the requirement? They should understand what are the rounds, whether it's a Q&A or whether it's gonna be your makeup or whether it's gonna be choreography. They really need to understand before they shoot for any international pageant.
Okay.
So I think grooming is very important, which goes from your basic level to the highest level of your communication skills. Your confidence, which is most important, is your confidence. It's not about whether you know to speak English or not, but how you presented yourself on a platform is what the judges will see. Because when I sit as a judge, when we look into it, it's just not about the appearance. It's about the whole thing, how you presented yourself, your confidence, your ability to carry and stand yourself there as one of the winner is what is important to be winner or a male contestants.
Okay.
So I think we have to go for a rigorous training and grooming, which even lacks in our state. Like it is very difficult to do it. Plus, one thing is, people tend to have wrong attitude when they think that they just won one title and they think that they are, on the stars and on the moons, and like they end up, they can't learn anything because of the reason that they know everything. So what is important is they need to be down to earth.
Yes,
they need
absolutely.
to have a good attitude to accept, to learn themselves that I need to learn, I need to be perfect. See, I have worked in the industry for almost like 19 years now. I have worked with almost all the designers, all the choreographers, being a makeup artist, being a designer. I have passed through different rigorous stages, from the struggle stage to my success stage. I have passed through many things, but still I feel that there is a place and room for improvement, which I think that everyone need to think about. When you have that feel, then you can undergo for a training or a grooming. When you think that I'm perfect, then who will groom you? No one will groom. And they think that they would not require for a grooming. So eventually, you end up being a loser there. So I think down to earth attitude, right attitude, positive aura, which is very important to be on that place and to be a winner.
Absolutely precious, Robert Naorem. Thank you for your beautiful thoughts and views. Okay, so I'll come to the next round, Ms. Konica Khuraijam. We were talking about, Robert just said Manipur doesn't have an actual place where you can groom the contenders. So what do you think about that? Do we have any local male beauty pageants? And if it is there, how different is it from the bodybuilding competition? And how are the contenders actually groomed from Manipur?
Okay, thank you, Utpala. Actually, in Manipur, we do have some male beauty contests. We have this occasional manhunt, which is being organized by different organizations in Manipur, local organizations. Of course, the criteria of the local organizations are a little bit traditional.
Okay.
It is not an international or a national. They don't have this international or national or international outlook. Even in the case of girls, there is some restriction even in wearing of designer clothes. So the same thing happens with the male too.
Okay.
So when there is a designer round, there is often restrictions on whether to use, handloom materials, or if a designer can use material that is made outside Manipur. So that is the local, the local issue is already there.
Okay.
It's always there.
Okay.
And also, I would like to talk a little bit about the creativity of the designers. Like, if there is a designer round in a particular, contest, designers will normally be very, very creative about it, because who do we call a good designer? A designer who can think out of the box, a designer who can create something new,
Yes.
a designer who exudes his or her personality in that particular design. But when that particular designer tries to design this particular outfits, naturally they'll be needing some elements which are not based in our tradition, which are not based in our tradition. Because we cannot be so contained, we cannot have that idea in a straightjacket theory of tradition only and think about designs. They have to think, something different. They have to think something, that is eye-catching.
Right.
Of course, they will be thinking something, that is meaningful too.
Absolutely.
So regarding all this designing, that is always a constraint in Manipur. So, I'm very sure that designers like Robert over here is with us. He must be facing lots of constraints in expressing his creativity regarding all the different designs he wants to, put up in front of people. Yet there are so many factors that restricts him to, restricts him to exude his, personality, or to exude his, creativity.
Right.
So, regarding grooming, grooming, is done by mostly, local people over here in Manipur. And I'm also one of the groomers. Like, from time to time, I used to go for this soft skill training, communicative skills, etc. But this, our grooming is not, I will very frankly admit that our grooming is not up to the international standard.
Okay.
We need international help also. And regarding this, I'm very sure Halley will be, agreeing with me when I say that when we try to get international help, we need lots of money. The financial factor is involved in any pageant. And I would like to express something regarding this financial, involvement. We have, different states in our northeast, like Mizoram, Nagaland, Shillong, which are very, 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 they're active in this conduct of beauty contests. And the government is always there to help them.
Okay.
And like, I've been in touch with Fashion Society Shillong for around about, say, 2 decades.
Okay.
And then I've been in touch with the Beauty and Aesthetic Society of Nagaland,
Okay.
where you also are a part of that in 1996.
Absolutely, yes.
So, yeah. And, all these organizations are all backed up by the government. Halley recently told me that in this recently organized the Miss Northeast, the Nagaland government is completely backing all the, all the financial matters that is involved in this particular contest.
Okay.
But I'm very sad to say, it's very shameful, I should say, to express that the Manipur government is not doing much.
Oh, okay. So where do the funds normally come for such pageants? Does it come from sponsors, or is it from the contestants?
See, regarding in Manipur, it comes from the sponsors, and it's very, very difficult to find sponsors, because Utpala, sponsors are somebody who are, they should have a big corporate world. They should have the money. How many corporates are there in Manipur? We don't have much. So a mere 1 lakh will not be able to run any contest. So we need the backing of the government. We need the backing of the government solidly.
Okay.
Now, I might sound a little bit petulant when I say that contests like Miss Good is always backed up by the government. Contests like Miss Orange is backed by the government. Contests like Miss Pineapple is backed by the government. Why not Miss Manipur?
Yes, absolutely.
Or why not? Why
for the
is
state.
not there in Manipur till today?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Why is it not backed by the government? Why are beauty pageants, put aside as something not important? Frankly speaking, Utpala, I would like to point out something. When you become an athlete, you just have to improve your agility, your muscular, strength, etc., in order to run the miles. Okay.
Right.
And then when you become a weightlifter, you have to build your strength to lift weights.
Yes.
If weightlifting, it can be, just for lifting a particular weight, the government is sponsoring lots of people, sponsoring lots of events. Why not contests like, Miss Manipur or Mr. Manipur? Because on top of having, having the ability to run miles, because these people also need to have physical strength. They are also going to the gym to build up their bodies.
Right.
They need to have mental agility. They need to have, that as I told you, that intellectual ability to speak up. So it's an amalgamation, of all these different aspects, which is, I believe, it's at par with any athletes in this area. So why can't we consider our, contestants or contenders as athletes too? And, support them from the part of the government, at least give them some, a sponsorship so that we can groom our aspirants.
Okay.
We can groom our, people, because as you can see from the recent happenings, people from our state has the ability to go to that particular event and win, contest.
Right.
If we have this ability, why can't the government support us? That is one question I would like to ask, our
a very valid question
of the people on why they are, declining completely, saying that beauty contests are nothing but show of beauty and nothing to do with athleticism. I would like to say athleticism. In athleticism is building up your agility, your body, your even mental capacity, because in athletes also 80 to 90% of the athletes have to develop their mental agility.
Absolutely.
Same thing is happening with the contenders or with the competitors of Miss or Mr. Manipur or Miss or Mr. India or Miss or Mr. World, So why not put it at par and, form these people also to make our state be known, not only in India, but outside of the world, outside in all over the world. Why not? Because as I said before, I'm very sure everybody must be Googling about Manipur right now. And why are they doing so? Everybody must be Googling about Robert Naorem because of that beautiful costume he has made. Now, that is also promotion of our state.
Yes.
But in the same way as any athlete like, Gunjarani or Mary Kom are promoting our state and, doing, bringing laurels to our state. I think contenders and competitors of contests like male beauty or ladies beauty or female beauty should also be supported by the government. And in support, I mean bringing in sponsors. They can bring in sponsors. Why not? They are the government. They can bring in, groomers, international groomers, and then, support the people. I think that can be done.
So at the moment, we is it such that the pageants that we have in Manipur, they do not go ahead to the national level. So it's just limited to the state, is it? Is it just limited to the state?
Yes. For example, which is organized by Halley Laithangbam, they are now tied up with Naorem, and that's why we contenders to the recently happening Naorem. So I'm pretty sure, what I asked, basically, these are all negotiations brought about. We, in order to tie with certain organizations, we need financial factors, we need money, as Lily and Robert will definitely agree with me. to tie up with certain organizations. Supposing if I want to be a director of, say, Miss or Mr. International, I have to have the money.
Right.
Who is going to sponsor us, our organization? Who is going to sponsor us financially? Some sort of a help is needed regarding, Northeast, regarding Manipur. Because we are not very, as I told you, financially very, capable in organizing all these things, in becoming director. Even I'm very sure that our organization, like Miss Manipur organization, is very, very capable. But the only thing lacking is the financial.
Okay.
And if the government helps a little bit, I'm very sure that we will be able to come up to that particular, level.
Okay, thank you for your views, Ms. Konica Khuraijam. I'll move to Halley now. Halley, we know that Manipur is already famous for art and culture, and even in sports, we are a powerhouse internationally. And so many of our sports persons have got back a lot of medals and laurels for the state. So, do you think that we are moving toward international fashion and beauty pageants as well? Do you think Manipur is, now that Lukanand has actually gone ahead and got the title, do you think as a state we are moving ahead, or do we think we're still far from that state? Oh, Halley, I think you might be on mute. There's no sound.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. As already Konica ma'am already have mentioned, since even if we have lots of potentials, we all need financial support. We need, physically we need to be strong, mentally we need to be strong. But at the end of the day, we all need financial support.
Right.
Even though, yes, as you have asked me, yes, not only Manipuris, our whole northeastern part of India, every nook and corner of the country, we all are moving forward, and the competition is getting tougher day by day. So, since the world is becoming very small, so when going to almost each and every youngsters, they are aware about the pageants so much. Filipinos, these Thai people, they are very much aware about this pageant. So we have lots of pageant lovers. Likewise, we also have lots of qualified contenders who really want to compete internationally and nationally. But at the end, as Ma'am Konica have already mentioned repeatedly, that we all need financial support from the government side. These youngsters, those who have got potentials, they are in the age group of, for example, 20 to 30, for example. This is the age group that they do not have that much of money, but they have time, they have potential. But we are expecting some help from the government side as well, from the ministers. See, if there is some, Sumang Lila, or if there's something, normal local, program, they are very much active in, giving sponsors, right? For example, local. See, I'm not discriminating, or I'm not saying anything about they shouldn't support the singers or other artists. But likewise, they have given importance to other field, like sports person, or for example, trade and commerce, like handloom, these things and all. This government, they are giving support to these people. For example, fortunately, Robert, I would say, my good friend. So these people, designers, they are getting support from the government side, fortunately, in different ways, from different angles. But regarding for model is something we hardly get any support from the government, and but fortunately this time, our honorable chief minister, sir, he is somebody who is really active, and he is very much connected with the youth. So we are fortunate that he's our chief minister, and he's somebody who's always ready to listen, actually. So when we approach for Miss Manipur, so they have started listening to us. Hopefully, maybe from next year onwards, we'll be getting support. So not only this is just an example, but even though if we have got what is potential, we all need support, financial support from this government end. And yes, one more thing I would like to insert is that we Manipuri people especially, we are very much active in making fun of others. If they won't be able to stand in someone's shoes, but they always try to find faults. See, nobody is perfect, starting from me.
Absolutely.
So the only thing is like they are very much active in they are trying to make fun of other people's faults. Like, so this is something really discouraging actually. So we really need to have that. We really can't stop them also.
A little change in attitude.
Exactly, and we really need to have that courage to overcome it. We should at least bother about those people, but we should be strong enough. But for the participants, for the youngsters who really want to participate, they are lucky. They are pretty lucky, like they have this YouTube, they have Google, there are so many other ways. Like in our time, we used only newspaper. Newspaper was the only option for us.
Magazines.
I still have lots of magazines. I still have a lot of paper cuttings, look, now it's very old style, but still I value them. So these days, like, as they belong to this new generation, it is little comparatively, it is easier for them to push, it is easier for them to push, to get closer towards the destination. So this is a high time for them to get support mentally, physically, and this one is financially as well, like. So, and this is unexpectedly this modeling line, this is something most expensive field, to survive actually. This is something also I would like
and
to
highly competitive as well. So, Halley, do you get young boys or girls coming up to you and asking you advice on how to become a model? So how do you go about it? How do you like
them? Yes, there are a few people like so whenever there's some competition, or they always approach me. I'm sure they must have approached to Ma'am Konica as well.
Right.
And Ma'am Konica is much far experienced than us. So but we really would like to support them. I teach whatever I know, I groom them in all possible areas. But at the end, they all need money. So also the conclusion comes in money only at the end of the day. So they all should have these good qualities. I try to polish them in all possible areas. But at the end, to make them, I will convince them. Okay, make your physique better. You should have good skin. You should have good hair. You should have we should be well groomed. But at the end, they all need money. It is really and practically impossible for their parents to support from A to Z actually. So we all, and since Imphal is a very small town, so how many entrepreneurs we have, how many companies we don't have. These all are countable actually.
Right.
It is all about, see, whenever we approach for sponsorship for Miss Manipur, everyone is ready for, we want to sponsor in kind, we want to sponsor in service, but hardly any, money actually. So this is the time, even if we polish them so well, those who have approached me, so they all need government support. This is a high time that we are expecting government to understand this area. So it would be really helpful to bring some good changes in our state regarding this modeling field as well.
So we're all moving ahead in so many other areas. I hope we do have some sort of support from the government for this field as well, which is an upcoming field. Thank you so much for your views, Halley. I'll just move on to Robert Naorem. Robert, do you think Manipuris have the potential to be models at national and international level, and to become designers like yourself at the international level? And can you also tell us some of the problems that you face as a designer, designing for the state as well as for international programs?
The noise.
Oh, you couldn't, did you not? Shall I repeat the question again?
No, I mean like the noise.
Oh yeah, there's some background disturbance. Yes, it's been going on for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's a bit better now.
Yeah, it's fine. Basically, yeah, why not? Obviously, to bring a right talent, we have Halley look into it. We have Lukanand.
Yeah.
See, everyone cannot be a supermodel. Everyone cannot be a top model.
Right.
But after all, in thousands, I think there will always be one or two.
Okay.
And we need to find out that. That's what Halley has been doing it.
Okay.
And I feel that, you know, a lot of people think that, you know, if they think that they have a good body, if they have a good face, they think that they can just be a model. No, I'm sorry. I don't agree on that. So everyone, it's not about, I want to be model. I want to become a model. You can't just say like that. Being a model requires many things. You need to be eligible for many things. You need to have that potential. You need to have a lot of things. It's not about social media. You just want to get your name. You just want to get famous. You want to, you know, be on the limelight. For that reason, you cannot be a model. I'm sorry, I have to tell this. But a lot of people think that way. So otherwise, every street there'll be like 1,000 models in Manipur by now. So you cannot be a model, or you cannot be an actor, or you cannot be artist just because you want it. You have to have the potential. You should be eligible, and you should possess all the qualities with all the energy inside within you to want it to become something called model or a pageant. Because especially in Manipur, that happens a lot. A lot of the kids, they think that due to the social media, they think that they just wanted to post a picture, they wanted to do a reel, they wanted to come into the rap and, you know, so-called model, they wanted to take that and become a famous. I would say that I request, please stop doing that, because you are spoiling and making the reputation which we think it's like a god. We worship our job, we worship our profession like a god. So I hope you all respect that. Being a designer or being a model is not just a job. It's not easy. It takes 2 decades. There are a lot of children which comes to me and tell that I want to be a designer. They get their parents and come. When I started counseling, are you really wanted to be a designer? Then I really tried to find out that they just wanted to be a designer because they wanted to be in the limelight. They wanted to work with the celebrity.
So for the wrong
reasons.
reasons.
You know, do a fashion show, come on the ramp. So that is the main problem. I feel that. So you cannot be designer because you want to be a famous. You need to have that energy. You need to have that feeling from within to strive hard. When I get into this career, imagine I have started my struggle without thinking that I'll be in this place. I never thought that I'll be in this place. Halley knows me since childhood. He knows me where I began. So we have struggled and came for years. So who is ready to struggle for 20 years to get this place? I think most of them will give up. They want easy access. They want to become a designer in 1-2 years, become something, or become makeup artist or whatever. So nothing comes easy and nothing comes like easy. So like there are talents. There are a lot of creative people. There are a lot of innovative people. It's just that we need to find the right person, right potential. That's what Halley is doing it. He's trying to find out the right potential. We try to crush, we try to groom, we try to pick out the right candidate, right person who can be dreams of future.
Okay. So can you also tell?
Happened to me also.
Okay. I'm sorry. Can you also tell us if you experienced any kind of like, as Ms. Konica previously said, that there are constraints that designers face. So did you face any such thing when you were designing for Lookout?
It's very true. Like restriction of bring creativity, innovation is very restricted in Manipur because it's a very cultured state and people were stuck onto the tradition and culture. So I feel that cultures is something which changes with ages, with times, with decades.
True.
So I hope we need time to make people understand. Otherwise, it's tough to work, in hurry, because, if I have to do something in my own way, I think they will make me stop doing designing. So restrictions are always there. I think 1,000 times when I design clothes, what people will say, from what community or from what section, from what organization, from this, that. I think 1,000 times before doing it. So I have learned a lot in this past few years. So struggle a lot. When I wanted to bring up something, it's not just about fee and panic, because that doesn't work on me, because tradition, everyone has their own tradition. So but bringing up the designs which connects with our roots, because that's what I always wanted to do it. Because for me, it's just not about designing. For me, when I started designing, I always wanted to bring up my state, show something good for the people, or represent my own people or sections of community. That's what I always wanted to do it. So for a person like me, it is very tough to work on and do a show or showcase my collection. It is very difficult. So I have to revolve around on four walls with a lot of restrictions and things which I'm not allowed to do it.
So is this restriction faced
it's
by...
very true, so I don't want to say more than this.
Okay, just one more. Is this restriction faced by other designers as well? Or is it just very...
Yeah. It's faced by them also, but it's more restricted to us because we have been established more and we are on the limelight more. We have more followers, so they think that whatever we do, it'll be followed by other people, or it will be again done, carry ahead by the youngsters. So they feel that way. So they try to restrict me, and in many ways, it's very difficult, because I just don't want to argue and fight with regard to this, because I still wanted to continue my job. It's just not about my survival, it's just also my survival, because otherwise, if I have been stopped, then if I have to fight for it, and definitely I know that I'll be stopped and I'll be banned from being a designer or working what I'm doing it now.
Thank you so much for your views, Robert. I'll come back to you again.
Thank you.
Right. So, Miss Konica Khuraijam, can you tell us if fashion and modeling can it be considered as a career option especially for the students in Manipur, for the youth of Manipur? Do you think it is a career option?
Yeah, Utpala, fashion and modeling, will be a little bit difficult to be taken as a career in Manipur, because we don't have that exposure at all. We need to have exposure in order to consider something as a career, because when we say career, we're talking about the shows we're going to have, we're talking about the exposure we're going to get, we're talking about the advertisements the models will be, doing it, will be involved in. But how much of that is there in Manipur? Not much. Maybe after 2-3 years, when the look at East policy turns into act East policy, and we start having lots of tourism in the state and many corporate houses in the state, maybe at that particular time, modeling and can be a career in Manipur. But right now, yes, you can have modeling as your hobby, and sometimes from time to time involve yourself in there's occasional fashion shows and advertisements that is being filmed and everywhere. But as a career, I think it will be very, very difficult for the students to survive in Manipur. But if they have the potential, they can still go out from Manipur and venture out in Mumbai, Delhi. Like there are some models out there in Mumbai and Delhi who are very good, models who are wanted by these designers, because in order to become a model of these designers, you need to have a certain stature, you need to have a certain height, you need to have a certain, physique, and that physique and the mentality too is a little bit lacking in our state. And so like in our state, I don't think it will be taken as a career. Outside our state, yes, if you have the right stature and the physique.
Okay, thank you for your views. I'll move to Halley regarding something that will be in continuation to what we just the discussion that we had with Ms. Khuraijam. Halley, can you tell us more about the talent hunt that you perform, and how do you encourage the models or the contenders, and also if they want to move out of Manipur, what is your advice to them? I think you're on mute again.
Yeah, I think it's audible now. Hello?
Yes, yes, you're audible now. Yes.
Yeah. See, as ma'am already have mentioned very clearly that, I also would like to support ma'am Konica's statement. Like, it is an ugly truth that, we should accept the fact that, we cannot make a career into modeling. Like, like with time to time, occasionally you can participate into shows, you can go for pageant and all. But we should be wise enough, we should be smart enough to make our educational background strong.
Okay.
See, we should have that backup. Okay, otherwise we should have. See, at the end, we all need money, so we should be wise enough to make sources of income. Maybe you can try into different fields. Like for example, you can go for acting if you are interested.
Okay.
Or you can apply for some job, or you can be an entrepreneur, or you can start a business. So you should have that, strong foundation. You cannot give. That top priority in this modeling. Actually.
Okay.
This would be the secondary option.
Okay.
So this was the question that I was always worried, and I used to ask to my very good friend Halley Laithangbam, who is currently in Bombay. So he also said the same thing, like when I was very much, at the initial part of my modeling. So, and modeling is something, it's not a it is not a child's play also. Like there's no shortcut, Not every Miss India becomes like, a superstar. Not, every Miss India becomes, this superstar like Priyanka Chopra, Aishwarya Rai. These are the very few stars that could survive after all this hard work, and and it depends on the luck also. And not every actor gets Oscar award. So likewise, we should be strong enough and we should be wise enough to make our educational background strong. Okay. Then you should, simultaneously with time, you should make a way to get money actually for your future prospect. But as you have asked me for advice regarding the modeling thing, so see, Bombay is more of Bollywood actually. Bombay also, it's a good place for modeling. But when you compare with Bombay and Delhi has more scope for modeling, I would say. But Mumbai is more into Bollywood, like it's more of acting and all. Those who are really more interested into acting and all, they go to Bombay side. And Delhi is very much, specifically only for modeling. Like, so I would suggest them to go into big cities if they really want to make career, when the time is right for them, when they are in the right place, then they can go for audition.
Okay.
So they should be in the right place in first place, and they should be well prepared in all the areas that, as we have already discussed earlier. So they should have potential, then they should be in the right city, because they have to give for audition. So whenever when I was in Bombay, so I got a few offers for this TV commercials and shows and all. So after giving 100 auditions, then only we got selected for 3 or 4 only. So people never know about the struggles that we have been facing. We have been putting effort in all the areas silently. So they should be in the right place, and they should focus when they are in the right time. I would say this way.
Okay. Thank you so much for your views. My last question for tonight for Robert Naorem. Robert, can you tell us can you give a few words to the aspiring designers? Of course, you already spoke about it, but something very specific that if somebody really wants to become a designer, what are the hardships that they may face and how to overcome them, and how can they go about creating a career out of their passion?
Can we decrease the sound, the noise, which is background noise?
Is it coming from our side?
Yeah.
Okay, is that a little better now?
Yeah.
Okay, there seems to be some sort of a disturbance.
Yeah. So basically, I would like to tell that, even for us also, financial situation will always be the financial backing will always be the problem at any point of time, because being a designer is about expensive clothes, investing in many shows, because obviously your brand need to be market and your brand need to be endorsed. So like going on to big fashion weeks, I can hear some sounds again back.
Yeah, there seems to be some sort of a disturbance. Yeah, I don't know
there
where
is some sound
the
back.
is coming from. Okay, I think it's.
Yeah, this is good. So I think being a designer is quite an expensive business, an expensive thing, because after all, boutique, you can't just open a boutique and just put some clothes like that. Yes, everyone has a starting or beginning, but eventually boutiques are all premium clothes and premium design. That's what designer clothes means. So obviously you need a good setup, you need good clothes, good materials, exclusive ones, and that all takes money and financial backup to do that. And what I would also suggest to the youngster is that work on the clothes which you can sell, which you can get a return, because we need to understand the market, we need to understand which kind of clothes people will buy. Yes, design innovation is very important, but when you don't have money, you will not survive there for a very long time. You will end up your career there only. So to survive, to sustain, we need to understand the market, what people requires, what kind of clothes people will buy. So if you have that thought in mind, and obviously people will buy your clothes, and those money could be of your help to sustain yourself and sustain your brand. So being a designer, as I told you, we need to showcase our collection, because doing a fashion show is just not about fun or entertainment. It's about showcasing our collections, what we are designing, what new collection we are showcasing, our innovations, what kind of things we are gonna bring up in the next season. That's what we showcase in fashion shows. So participating in all these international fashion weeks and big fashion weeks outside, we don't get money, which most of the people in Manipur think that we get money doing fashion shows. No, we spend money there. Participating in one of the big fashion shows is nothing less than 10 lakhs. So for example, New York Fashion Week, one slot is minimum is 35 lakhs for one designer to showcase. So it is utmost requirement for us, to have money, get from our business to able to showcase our brand and promote. And that's what I have been doing it. So it's quite difficult for me, because since I don't get investment from anyone or any of the government, but yes, I got a startup loan which is given by the state government of 1 crore, which is a loan again, which I'm going to repay back, which is not free, but yes, there is a few subsidy percentages there, which is helping me up, in expanding my business. But you cannot get a loan easily also, but you will see all your income tax filing, all the tax, how much business you do it, according to your performance of your business. Bank will give you a loan. The government is not going to give you a loan, but only thing is they give you the opportunity and a way to sort it out, to reach out to the bank. So I think even the youngsters will work hard and focus on their job, and think of the reality, research more on the market, so that they would able to sustain, survive, and don't just try to become a designer for the sake of fame or be on the limelight.
Okay. The passion needs to come from within.
Yeah. So that's what the baseline should be. It should be your passion. It should be your heart and soul, and do your work. I think it will lead you to the success.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Robert. That brings us to the end of this open debate for tonight. I'd like to thank all of our panelists again in order of our panelists on the screen. Halley, thank you so much for being on ELITETV Open Debate. It was a pleasure having you. Ma'am Konica Khuraijam, it was wonderful having you on this show, and we'd love to see you again and again on our show. And Robert Naorem, thank you so much. We've had a beautiful discussion and very informative. And thank you once again for being on our show. We'd love to have you again once again on our show in the future. Thank you once again. Now I'd like to thank our viewers. Dear viewers, thank you so much for watching our show. Please do not forget to leave your precious feedback and do let us know if there are any social issues that you'd like us to cover in our show. Thank you all. I'm your host Utpala, signing off for tonight. See you again next Monday with another exciting topic. Stay safe and have a good night.
Washing machine, fridge, smart TV, air conditioner, kitchen items, amadi makal khudingmakki home appliances kidamak hoina waningai lete. Laisampat Konjeng Hazari Laikai Dalaiba Mezo of Impalna ahongbo mamalda item khudingmakki up to 50% discount offer tizari. Wedding set unalong matamdasu special oiba discount kayasu thamjari. Interest amatta yaudena 0% EMI loan ni kudong chabasu thamjari. Kudong chabasi mangan biraganu ngasi makleng sin biraku Mezo of Impal Laisampat Konjeng Hazari Laikai.